We are live for the 160th edition of the Furman Paladins taking on the Wofford Terriers. SoCon Fast Break, live, our game day edition. Richmond Weaver joined by Darren Angel. And we've got a special guest. We're just going to jump right into it. Head coach of the Wofford Terriers, Kevin Giltner. Hey, man, thank you so much for joining us on our inaugural opportunity of being right here in Jerry Richardson Indoor Stadium. And it's an honor. And I have to start with you, just in terms of, I mean, you're an OG in this rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, you did it as a player, assistant coach, and now as a head coach. So how is it different as a head coach? I mean, you still get the goosebumps walking into the arena today?
No doubt. Like, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that this wasn't have a little bit more to it, right? Yeah. It's Furman, it's Wofford. You hear about it all week long, and you try to tune it out until, you know, Thursday, Friday after the Wednesday night game. Luckily, we were able to get through that. But yeah, it's special. But we need to win. Furman needs a win. There's no extra motivation really needed outside of that. But it's going to be a special night. We got two really good programs that represent this league really, really well. And so it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, no, I think so too, just from a perspective as we're right here at the end of the season, which is crazy. How fast has this season gone for you? Obviously, we know from the get-go, whirlwind start for you, but now, here we are. We're right into the downstretch to Asheville.
Yeah, looking at my phone, I see February 20-something. I'm like, what? What? Like, it is wild how fast this has gone, mainly because I'm having fun. Like, I love these guys. I love our staff. I love being back at Wofford. This is a really special place, and I'm just having a blast. So I'm trying to stop and smell the roses every once in a while. But also there's a lot to do, so it's just like I'm running around like crazy. And any free moment I get, I've got personal stuff to handle.
Well, of course.
You know, because I'm still, I'm like, crap, I forgot to change my address, you know, or stuff like that. But it's a blessing, and it's gone really fast because it's a blast.
Yeah. Kind of speaking of Asheville, Coach, without getting, I know the mindset is, look, we're just trying to get to tomorrow. And we want to be the best we can today and tomorrow. But looking ahead to Asheville, what do you want to see from your guys as you get ready to have to go play 3 games in 3 days and put yourself in the best position to go back on the nets in Asheville?
I think from a zoomed out view, I want to be playing our best basketball at the end of the season. I want to feel like we're the healthiest, we're the most connected, and we're playing our best version of who we could be then. From a particular standpoint, defensively, we got to get better. We got to get better defensively. I think we're pretty good offensively. We got really talented players. We've got good stuff. I don't really ever worry about scoring enough. I worry about, can we stop? Can we get some stops? So from a zoomed out view, again, let's be our best version of ourselves. But when I really dive into the details, we got to guard better.
Yeah. Well, one of those guys you got back from a scoring perspective was Kamari Holmes.
And he helps defensively, too.
I was going to say, what else does he bring to this team?
He's one of the best athletes, one of the biggest, strongest, most powerful dudes in this league. You know, that's hard to guard and hard to get by, and hard to get rebounds from, and hard to, you know, he's so big and strong, but he's also really, really talented and skilled. So I think that's what makes him really good. So super thankful he's back. Super thankful he's back, and hopefully we can have one more back here soon. But everybody's dealing with it. Everybody's dealing with it.
Nobody can escape the injury situation.
Nobody. It might be the most I can remember from a league perspective, but you know, we're in a good spot now. Knock on wood. You never know. In 20 minutes could be different. So I mean, we had Brian Sumter go down sick.
That's right.
Literally at this point on Wednesday. So you never know. The flu's going around, stubborn bugs going around. People are rolling ankles left and right. So we're thankful right now. We're in a good spot.
There you go. Well, Coach Giltner, can't thank you enough. We know you've got other things to get ready for. Tip-off time a little after 7 p.m., so thank you, sir.
I'm super thankful for you guys and your platform and what you guys do for our league. I know I've said that to you guys privately, but I do want to make sure I say it publicly. This league is so good. There's so many good coaches.
That's why we're doing it.
There's so many good teams. There's so many good programs that are investing big time into basketball. So for you guys to spotlight it makes me happy. Super thankful you guys are doing this here at our venue. I'm selfish, but this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And I do want to highlight we are wearing some shirts tonight.
Yes, please.
I don't want to take it off too much, but this is our shirts for Shelby, our ticket office lady, who is one of the best people on planet Earth. I've known her since 2007 when I came on my visit to Wofford, and she's taken care of me and my family in more ways than one. She was diagnosed with a bone cancer. She's going to be okay.
Good.
But we all wanted to bring little attention to her and how special she is to our program, our school, this community. She does not know yet, which is why I haven't taken this off.
Yes.
But everybody's going to be rocking these shirts tonight. So if you see us in blue, don't be like, what? This is for a great cause. Shelby Taylor, we love you. We're praying for you, and you mean the world to us.
There you go. That's the community that we have here in the Southern Conference, and even here at Wofford.
Yes. Appreciate all you guys do for us.
Coach, good luck tonight. Thank you very much for joining us.
That's perfect. And that's what we love. Again, just those type of things, just here in the Southern Conference. And I'm going to shift over just a little bit, give you a little bit more space.
You know, we'll spread out a little bit. I'll get the dual screen going here, you know.
We got a lot to talk about.
We do.
That is for certain.
A lot of great action in the league today. We got a lot to talk about tonight, tonight's game, but a lot of great action in the Southern Conference today that has implications.
Big time implications. That's right. Hey, and everybody out there watching, you can jump in on the comments. We've got Brian Fannin, extraordinary producer, director. He's back there making sure that watching some of the comments, and we'll pull it up also. If you have questions, whatever it might be, we just appreciate the opportunity to be here again at Jerry Richardson Indoor Stadium and the opportunity, our version of game day. And so I do want to take a moment, though, as you talked about some of the situations happening with scores around the Southern Conference and the implications with these standings, as we're right here heading into the final stretch, which again, it's crazy that we are here, but Samford has a tough loss on the road against Mercer today, and that was a big time win for Mercer in terms of how they're trying to keep pace, and can they try to catch Wofford there in second place right now?
As you mentioned, huge win on so many fronts because, let's be honest, they weren't playing their best basketball going into today. Still a very good team, but not playing their best basketball. So to bounce back after a really kind of head-scratching, puzzling loss on Wednesday night to Chattanooga. I'm sorry, that game was Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night, yes.
Not Wednesday night. But a really puzzling loss, and at home. So to come out against the hottest team in the league and to be able to go get a hard-fought win where, look, for those that didn't watch this game, this sucker was back and forth down to the last minute and a half. Samford kept ticking away and had chances. So credit to Mercer for really getting stops and closing this one out for a big-time win.
Jaden Booth kept Samford in there, and we've talked about it. He was 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. What did he end up with? 26 points in this game. I mean, he was lethal from the perimeter. We talked about it on our preview show that we did, that for Mercer to win this game, they were going to have to get some production outside of Okoje and outside of our Mighty Mighty. Could it be a Brady Shoulders, but even could it be a Quentin Perkins the second, and especially from the perimeter, and he was able to do that, and that's what helped Mercer be in that position, even in a tight game. And then Okoje, he goes 10 for 10 from the free throw line. I mean, this guy just manufactures foul shots each and every game. That's why there's no doubt he's definitely going to be in the conversation for Player of the Year in the Southern Conference.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to probably dive into that a little bit more, time permitting on this, but I think really it's a 3-horse race with him, Justin Neely, and actually really probably those two guys.
Yeah, I'm saying Jaden Booth, Jaden Buckets.
What am I
and again, we got to remember,
I'm sitting here losing my mind.
It's Jaden Buckets. It's not Jaden Booth. Yes, we officially changed his name to Jaden Buckets. It's not Jaden Booth.
Yes,
but yet he has to be in the conversation.
That's a brain fart right there.
And of all things, and so we will talk about Player of the Year just for a minute here. Of all things, if Kamari Holmes does not get hurt,
he's 100% in the conversation.
He's in the conversation, 100%. Hands down. It's not even close. The progression he's had from his freshman year to his sophomore year, again, he's just a sophomore.
Yeah.
That's what is so spectacular in terms of how he's being able to make that jump. And I know last year it was hard to, get into that lineup. Yes, no question about it. But he has taken the reins, and even more so. And as Coach Giltner was talking about, he's just so physical, leads the league in steals, and he's just a hard guard to guard, but also he can put a lot of pressure on the opponent.
He absolutely can, and we talk about it all the time. This is a perimeter-oriented league.
Yeah.
And when you have a guard with that athleticism and that size and that length, that really gives you a strategic advantage on defense and on the floor, because you could put him on the other team's best player.
Totally.
And potentially shut him down.
Yeah,
or at a minimum, make it difficult. Because there's guys in this league, frankly, that are going to be hard to shut down.
They're hard.
But can you make them inefficient?
That's right.
And that's one of the keys, I think, tonight, as we dive into at some point. kind of going through some scouting for tonight's game.
And we will talk about it because I didn't even talk to Coach Giltner about it, just in terms of Kamari and his return in that game against VMI.
Didn't miss a beat.
22 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Yeah.
He almost had a triple-double.
Yeah.
And just comes out there nonchalant, 35 minutes. Now, maybe they didn't want him to play 35 minutes coming back right after injury.
Yeah.
But it just showcases just exactly how good he is. All right, let's get back to some of the standings, as we do have games going on right now. I should say ETSU and UNCG, so if you can give us a score update on that, because that has big implications. Can ETSU, because if they can win, and I know Terrier fans don't want to hear this, but if Wofford loses, then that puts ETSU as the number 1 seed, and they clinch.
Regular season champs. Well, right now we got 7:56 left in the second half, and it is a 64-57 ETSU lead over UNC Greensboro. They seem to have, without watching it, they have seemed to take control of the game. And UNC Greensboro has been playing catch up. And we talked about it before.
We did.
This is a tough matchup for UNCG.
That's right.
Just is.
It is. And that's what the physicality of ETSU. You've got Blake Barkley back, so you have that extra body. And that's where I think ETSU has been able to showcase why they have the potential of clinching, because they're physical, not only inside, but even out on the perimeter, they're physical.
Oh, they are.
So that's, again, the perimeter play for ETSU and the inside play, that complementary type of basketball, that's what has led them to be sitting there with the potential of the number 1 seed and clinching it this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind when I think of Brooks Savage's ETSU teams is toughness, physicality.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. All right, Wofford sitting there at 9-6 in the standings. Mercer now 10-6 after that win against Samford. Samford falls to 9-7. So you've got those top 4 teams. Then Furman and UNCG sitting there at 8-7. And don't look now. I don't know how this is going to play out, but Western Carolina has won 4 in a row now, and they're sitting there at 8-8. There's a legitimate shot. They can get themselves into the top 6 and get that bye in Asheville.
There certainly is. And just one quick thing to say, just because I know Terrier fans will hear about it. Wofford's actually 10-5.
10-5. Oh, what did I say?
10-5.
Oh, yes, okay, they are.
All good.
Yes.
To your point, Western Carolina, they are playing really good basketball. We have preached it all season long. If they get 4, they have the capacity to get 4 and 5 guys in double figures. And when they do, they are really dangerous. And they have consistently found a way to get 4 and 5 guys in double figures. And they have been scoring at a really high clip. And to your point, they are hot right now. They're riding that 4-game winning streak. Now, they're home games, but they have a really tough 2-game stretch with Mercer and Furman coming in there.
That's right.
Both of those games being very, very high-level, impactful games for the standings. And frankly, did any of us think that Furman at Western Carolina to end the season would be a meaningful game?
Now, we know playing in Cullowhee is tough.
It is.
There's no question about it. Ask ETSU, ask UNCG, ask some of these other teams. They have struggled there in Cullowhee. But I think this is a surprise. No disrespect to Western Carolina, but just how they had started out the season. But again, they have a potential of finishing the regular season slate here in the conference, winning 6. And if they're able to do that, if they can get to 10-8, I mean, it's going to be hard pressed that they're not going to be in the top 6. Now, they still have to have some other things happen, based on the tiebreakers. But I mean, at least they do have somewhat of control on their side. Just go win the last 2 games, and they're at home.
You know what's crazy is I'm looking at the standings right here, and I think this talks about the level of parity in this league for the most part.
Yes.
Is that you could legitimately have your top 7 teams in the league have 10 wins or more.
And so this is what's crazy too, is that when you think about that, and we've said it so many times that some of these teams, you don't want to meet them in Asheville. I mean, could we have 7 teams that you don't want to meet in Asheville? And the reality is, sorry, you're going to meet one of these teams in Asheville. That's the problem.
It's good. This is shaping up, in my opinion, for one of the most wild Southern Conference tournament weekends we've seen in a long
time. Yes, long time.
Look, the way that 7 of these 10 teams are playing right now, 6 or 7 of them, I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but there are legitimately probably 6 teams that have a legitimate chance to do it. Certainly. So it's really cool to see, and I would be curious to look throughout the rest of the country. I doubt that there are any outside of maybe the Power 5 conferences that have the majority of their team with the ability to get double-digit wins.
That's right. Yeah, because that's significant. That speaks volumes to the parity. And we've been talking about it from the very beginning of the season. It almost sounded like a broken record because we kept saying the same thing, that, hey, any given night, you don't know what's going to happen. And I think Wofford almost experienced that here against VMI. I mean, VMI scored 44 points on them in the second half. And again, that's why you just don't know. I mean, that was a close game, and Coach Giltner talked about it, that, hey, it's a W, and at the end of the day, it might be ugly, but all W's are beautiful. For sure. That's the reality.
Well, and you talk about it all the time. When you get the volume of threes up that VMI does, there's no matter what their record is, I know they're 1-15. But whenever you're facing an opponent that gets that many threes up, if they happen to catch a heater,
that's right,
all bets are off.
Okay, so they're averaging just over 33 attempts per game from beyond the arc. So what if they do, but unfortunately for the season, they've had high volume, low percentage, and that's been the problem. So to your point, is there a situation where in Asheville for a 2-game stretch, could they be a spoiler and say, you know, they're somehow able to get a victory there that first day, and then that next day, what happens if they do attempt 33, but they make 15? Then all of a sudden, you're in a tough spot because that's hard, that's a math problem that you might not be able to solve.
No, I mean, you want to know what is craziest about it is, I mean, this is a compliment to them, but like Wofford, for instance, last year, they caught fire from deep. In the Southern Conference tournament. Now, they had some guys that could really shoot it, but I think they shot over 50% from 3 in the Southern Conference tournament. So to your point, like, you just got to get hot for 3 days.
Exactly.
Now, neither of us, to be clear, neither of us are saying VMI is going to go reel off 3 or 4 victories in a row.
That's right.
But at that volume, it's always in the back of your mind, can they get on a heater for a 1 or 2 game stretch?
That's right. It's more so a 1-game type of situation, 2-game situation, that's it. And you know, that's why you have to be careful with those type of teams. That's what we saw here with VMI coming into Jerry Richardson North Stadium on Wednesday and almost getting a victory there. But again, Coach Giltner talked to us also that these guys don't need motivation for this type of game tonight. That is for certain. All right, one other thing though, Chattanooga. I mean, how do we explain Chattanooga right now?
I mean, where did this offensive firepower all of a sudden?
They scored 94 against Mercer, and then they just put up 93 against the Citadel.
And here's the crazy thing. Like, today, they got some interior scoring from Colin Mulholland. But earlier in the week, it was really all on the perimeter.
Yes, it was.
But
it was Jordan Frison going off, and Brennan Watkins.
I didn't have a chance to go back and look, but I mean, I don't know if they've hung 90 up all year.
Yeah,
against a Division I opponent.
Yeah, I don't think in the conference they have.
Yeah, so it is incredible to me. But what's interesting about it is, look, I mean, again, we talk about it. They're getting potentially hot right now. Maybe they found something.
That's right.
Like, do you want to play Chattanooga?
No, I don't.
If they're able to bundle this in a bottle for the next 2 weeks, I certainly wouldn't want to play Chattanooga. That's a very well-coached basketball team.
Yes, it is. And UNCG has to travel to Chattanooga after their game against ETSU. And so the Spartans sitting there also. Again, I know we've talked about them just being somewhat of a roller coaster ride and just couldn't get things pulled together on the defensive side. Yeah. And that's been their Achilles heel because we're still used to Mike Jones having a team that plays lockdown defense and just don't know if he has the personnel to be able to do that, especially out on the perimeter. Yeah. It's one thing when you got Justin Neely and KJ Younger down there, and even Pinedo, Valentino Pinedo. He can be a guy that with his size, 6'8", but he's just not as physical
Certainly.
as a Justin Neely type of guy. But you don't have the perimeter defensive guys that you have to have that are physical, length, athletic.
You just
don't
don't
have those.
You just don't.
And,
and you're really young in the backcourt
They
too,
are,
right?
very
so
young.
Not only do you not have the toughness and physicality from a age perspective, but you also just don't have it from a build perspective. Like you look at some of those older guys on ETSU on the perimeter, they may not have size, but they are big, strong, they're thick.
Yes.
And so yeah, I think that's the big thing that probably keeps UNCG from really being able to defend at the level that I think Mike Jones wants to as we get into Asheville here.
Yeah, no question. And going back to that Samford-Mercer game, because I do want to talk about Samford and where they stand. And again, this was maybe a revenge type of game for Mercer as they got blown out at Samford 69-49, only scored 22 points in the first half. They only scored, as I mentioned, 49 points in the entire game at Samford. They scored 44 in the first half against Samford today.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a turnaround, and that's the offense that we have typically seen from Mercer. But for Samford, now their streak is over, 6-game win streak is over, and in all reality, based on where they're standing right now with the games remaining and how they started out in the conference 3-6, they've almost put themselves in a tough position where they had an outside shot. They could have gotten to that number 2 seed.
Yeah.
They had to have a lot of things work out in their favor,
They did.
and they had to win out. So that's not going to happen. But now they could be in a position that they might be battling just to make sure they get in the top 6.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've got some tough games. I mean, I shouldn't say that. They've got VMI and UNCG left, right?
That's
so,
right.
those are 2 winnable games. But certainly, this game today, if they're able to win it, you're feeling pretty good about a top 4 seed.
Yeah.
But because so much of this group is packed together, you lose that game, and like you said, now you're in a situation where if you slip up at one of those last 2 games, you're in a situation where you are a little bit concerned about, do we slip to 6 or 7? Obviously, 6, you're still getting that first round bye, but you want to be riding some momentum. So yeah, I mean, there's certainly still a possibility that they end up with the 7 seed. But as you mentioned earlier, Western has to win both their games.
Yes, exactly.
And Samford, more likely than not, has to lose
both.
too.
Yes, exactly. Which I think that's going to be difficult. Or I should say, it's a lower probability for Samford to lose both of their games down the stretch. Okay, so before we really break this game down, Wofford and Furman, I do want to just quickly, player of the year.
Yeah.
So I know we already talked about it just a little bit, but I think it's coming down to 3 guys. Yeah. It's Jaden Buckets, Jaden Booth, it's Justin Neely, and Baraka Koje. I think those are the 3 that have separated themselves.
Yep.
And I'm wondering how it's going to be viewed in terms of, is it statistical importance, or is it how valuable are you to your team?
Yeah.
Because if it's how valuable you are to your team, I still think it could be a challenge, but it seems like Justin Neely is by far the most valuable to the Spartans because, again, I don't know where the Spartans would be if they don't have Justin Neely.
No, I mean, they're certainly pretty far down in the standings if they don't have Justin Neely, and that's not a knock against the rest of their roster, but I think that's a credit to how good he's been, especially in league.
Yes.
I think if it were me, I kind of feel like it's Justin Neely's to lose because I do think he's not only most valuable to his team, and I know we're probably picking at straws here a little bit statistically, but I think in conference, he's just been so good.
Yeah.
So good consistently. He's been efficient.
He's a double-double machine. He's top in the country in total rebounds and also defensive rebounds per game. He gets to the free throw line. So he brings all of that. He just had 35 points on the road against Western Carolina, a career high there. So then you look at Baraka Koje, though. again, another 25-point game for him, 10 of 10 from the free throw line. He leads the nation in getting to the free throw line. So you have to admire just what he's been able to be for that team. Because, again, I don't know if they have the offensive firepower at Mercer if you don't have Baraka Koje.
No, they certainly don't at all. And, I mean, his numbers have been phenomenal. And if you kind of – we can certainly debate this back and forth with more guys than even we're just talking about. But I think if you look at combination of value to their team, consistency, and throw in talent of, hey, this is just the best player in the league.
Yeah.
I might give an edge to Baraka Koje.
Yeah.
He has had a phenomenal year. He's been consistent all year. He has not had a lull. He's been healthy, and they've been really good.
Yes, that's right.
And that's part of it, too. For the vast majority of the season.
I think you do have to factor in how good your team can be because of your success.
100%.
And that's a big part of it.
Because the reality is yes, we all know how valuable Justin Neely is to his team, but they're under 500, not only in the league, but also in the overall season. And so I shouldn't say they're not. They're over. They're one game over 500.
Yeah, they're 8-7 right now. Yeah.
But I don't know the last time a team finished, call it 500, and had the Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Conversely, Mercer's here sitting at 10-6, could very easily win their last 2 games.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you then go to the guy that is on a roster, who's the best player on a roster that goes 12-6?
Yeah, and that's what's going to be interesting to see how the Southern Conference, how they want to vote from that perspective. We'll have our own vote, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll have our own Player of the Year, the SoCon Fast Break Player of the Year. And then you look at Jaden Buckets, Jaden Booth, and just what he's been able to do. I mean, this guy is a flamethrower. He can knock down shots, and he's not just a three-point shooter. And I've gone back and watched some of the film. He's actually very good at the mid-range, and his game is versatile. He can score at all 3 levels. The challenge to defend him, though, is that he gets his shot off so quickly. I mean, it's one of the quickest releases in the Southern Conference and that I've seen in a while, and that's what makes him so dangerous. And they do a really good job in Lenny Acuff's system, getting some open looks for him, creating space, creating some of those gaps. And then when you have Dylan Faulkner, you have to be able to defend inside because he's so crafty, the double-double machine. And so that just opens things up. And then now when you get the Norris brothers also playing well on the perimeter, it just creates even better opportunity for Jaden Booth. And he's leading the nation in three-pointers made per game.
I mean, look, he gets them up, but he shoots it at a high clip.
He does. But he's shooting over 40% in conference.
Yeah. Oh, and here's the crazy thing. You and I both know this. When you get to league play, and the further you get in the league play, there ain't no secrets.
No,
right?
there's not. Yeah, that's right.
You're putting together a scouting report, and you want to execute that scouting report, but the reality is, we know who your best players are. We know what you're going to do.
Exactly.
And he has just consistently been able to score at an incredibly high clip. If we're nitpicking and kind of maybe looking at overall impact, the one thing I would ask, and again, we're nitpicking, we're picking at straws. Does he make his teammates better like a Baraka Koje does, in my opinion? And or does he rebound or serve table maybe like a Baraka Koje does? Or Justin Neely with just being a rebounding machine and getting second chance opportunities for his teammates, things of that nature. But man, Jaden Booth is one of the best shooters and scorers in the country this year.
That's right.
And excels in that system.
He might not get Player of the Year, but he can be on my team. I promise you.
Give me buckets.
Yes.
Give me Mr. Buckets.
I'll take him all day.
Absolutely.
Okay, we got to get to this game.
Yeah.
Furman and Wofford here, the 160th meeting between the I-85 rivals, and it dates all the way back to 1908.
Love it.
Before I-85 was even thought about. Yes, so that is
the horse and carriage rivalry.
Yes, exactly. Long time ago. So Furman holds the historical lead, 93-66, but Wofford has won 37 of the 62 contests since they moved to Division I. And again, the first meeting back in 1908. Now, this is where, Wofford fans will say, hey, go ahead, you can hold the overall series, But guess what? We beat you in Asheville last year to win the Southern Conference Tournament Championship. And that's why rivalry games are absolutely spectacular. I mean, I saw Wofford posting some things and saying that we hate the color purple, you know. And so I'm like, okay, here we go. This game means something. You don't have to get amped up for this game in terms of needing extra motivation. I mean, you coached in this. You got to see it firsthand.
Yeah, absolutely. The pettiness comes out in this game, you know?
Yes.
But this is an incredible atmosphere. Whether it's here, whether it's in Timmins, whether it's down at the Well, this game, frankly, just matters a little bit more. Like, there's just,
it does.
You can sugarcoat it all you want, that every game matters the same and you got to go win. This is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
These two schools, there's no love lost between either of them. They're competitive on the basketball court, and just in every other sport, and academically they're competitive, right? And so this one doesn't need any extra motivation. You're absolutely right. And it was always fun for us because you knew that this place was going to be sold out. You knew Timmins was going to be sold out. You know, the one year we were down at the Well that we were fortunate enough to go to the NCAA tournament, we had the largest crowd in Furman men's basketball history, where we essentially sold out the lower bowl at the Well. That's the kind of atmosphere you want for college basketball, and that's what makes this level special. Because
I know,
look, we don't get 10,000 fans a night like you might at the high major level. So when you can pack a place like Jerry Richardson or a place like Timmins, that makes it extra special.
That's right. Hey, Houston and Arizona, you can have your game. Duke and Michigan later, you can have it. Yes, we'll take the I-85 rivalry.
And those are great
Furman
games.
and Wofford.
But they're used. They play in front of those big crowds every night.
Right.
This is a special one for sure.
Okay, so going back to the first matchup this season, 74-70 win for the Wofford Terriers there at Timmins Arena, and this was a game where Furman's in control.
They are.
I mean, they were in control. 13-point lead, and then Wofford goes on a big 17-0 run there in the second half, and ultimately puts the game away. And so it just showcased mental toughness, perseverance from Wofford, not giving up, and it's something that I felt that we have seen from Furman, giving up leads, and this was one they weren't able to hold on to.
It was, and look, you're absolutely right. I mean, most coaches will say the most irrelevant stat of all time is a halftime lead.
Oh, of course.
But, you know, Furman was up 7 at the break. They built a 13-point lead.
Yeah.
And, that 17-0 run, like you mentioned, really was a backbreaker. I do think in this one, not to give Furman any excuses, they only played 7 guys because they were without. I mean,
they didn't have Cooper Bowser, didn't have Asa Thomas or Tom House,
no Tom House, no Colin O'Neill.
Yeah.
So they certainly, I think, ran out of gas a little bit down the stretch.
They did.
That said, credit Wofford. They battled. That backcourt was fantastic. That backcourt for Wofford scored 55 of their 74 points.
Niels Mahovsky and Kamari Holmes had 40 combined.
And then Chase Wiley had a great 15-point night on 6 of 11 shooting. So they really played well in that second half. I mean, they shot 56%, and they got stops when they needed stops.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
Coach Giltner talked about his team wanting his team to be more consistent defensively. Well, they got stops down the stretch when they needed them in that game. And that was a huge thing. And look, Alex Wilkins went for 19, but guess what they did? They made him an inefficient scorer. He was 7 of 20 from the field, 1 of 10 from 3.
That's right. That's a lot of shots to get those 19 points.
That is. And so when you can do that to somebody, you're going to put yourself, when you do that to not only just somebody, but the other team's best player. You're putting yourself in a really good position to win that game. And frankly, they did what they had to do down the stretch to close that game out, regardless of talking about dead legs or not.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so in this game tonight, you do get Cooper Bowser back if you're Furman. You got Asa Thomas back. You got Tom House. You got Colin O'Neill. So you're back to full strength, but they're coming off of a loss to ETSU on Wednesday, and I was on that call, and they go 6 of 33 from beyond the arc. I mean, that seems to be the epitome for Furman right now. They're almost living and dying by the three-point shot. Like, if they don't have an opportunity to shoot over 37%, they're going to struggle in the game because it seems to be a combination that they're not able to hit shots, but then they're also not doing a really good job on the perimeter defending the three-point shot.
No, and to your point, offensively, it's something that you look at the makeup of this roster, and they should be shooting it really well from three. I mean, you've got multiple guys, in my opinion, that can be worst case scenario high 30s, but also 40+% three-point shooters. And for some reason, these shots just aren't going down right now. Credit to ETSU for defending the three well the other night. That said, Furman got some good looks.
They did.
They just didn't fall. Drop.
I agree.
And so it's really interesting because if you looked at that box score Wednesday night, Furman did everything they needed to do to win that game, minus the three-point shooting.
That's right.
And
ETSU did hit 50%.
100%.
They were 12 of 24.
100%.
And that's not their game.
No, that's
not their game
at all.
Yeah.
So that was huge, but to your point, they've got to find a way. They got to hit 10 three-pointers tonight.
Yeah.
They just have to. They've been getting them up with volume. I would also really like to see, I want to see this group tonight. Let's loosen it up a little bit. When Coach Ritchie's teams are at their best offensively, yes, they're shooting it well, but part of it is because that ball's moving side to side, it's popping, and they're cutting, and they're getting easy baskets at the rim, which takes a little bit of pressure off so that you're not living and dying by the three-point.
I definitely noticed that. Stagnant offense, no cutting, and that's a staple of that offense. You have to be reacting, reading, cutting, and getting some of those opportunities where you can create some space, the double gap situation, all of those things. And when the ball just sticks in the mud, Furman, you can tell that they're going to have a tough shooting night.
There's not many people better in the country teaching this offense and teaching efficient offense than Bob Ritchie. So they can certainly do it, and I would guess that they have probably talked in staff meetings and watching film that they need to see more crispness to that offense. But that's a major key to me tonight, is they've got to not be stagnant offensively, and that ball has got to pop. And another thing, if we look at last game, we both love this guy, and he has been great all year. But they need to get more out of Charles Johnston tonight than they got from him in the first matchup. He had 5 and 5 last game. Yeah, he's been a double-double machine this year as well. Maybe not to the level of Justin Neely, but he's been a double-double machine.
Yeah, even against ETSU, I felt Charles Johnson was going to have to be a difference maker. I knew Asa Thomas would be able to knock down some shots, but Johnston needs to be that guy, and he's going to need to be that guy tonight as well. Because when you look at Wofford, now you've got Kamari Holmes back, and how important that is. Now, I don't think Luke Flynn's going to play, so you still losing one of your glue type of guy, energy type of guy, crafty type of guy. But Brendan Rigsby has been playing extremely well. And then don't forget about the connective tissue, the other guy out there, Caden Vasco. I think he's so underrated.
He's so undervalued
here in the Southern Conference.
Absolutely.
He doesn't put up the flashy numbers in terms of scoring 20 points per night, 18 per night. But he almost had a triple-double himself in that VMI game. And he is a facilitator. He doesn't turn the ball over. And he just makes big shots when Wofford needs it. And so that's why I think Caden Vasco is another key factor for Wofford to win tonight.
100% agree with you. And speaking of taking care of the ball, I think that is a key tonight as well.
Yes.
Wofford is top 20 in the country offensively in not turning the ball over.
That's right, yes.
So they're going to take care of the ball. Can Furman turn them over and get some points in transition? Again, another easy way to just get a little bit of weight off your shoulders when you're not shooting a three ball real well. Can you get some easy buckets in transition? And then conversely, can you limit Wofford's possessions? Because they have been very efficient offensively all year, not only taking care of the basketball, but just in almost every offensive statistical category that's meaningful, Wofford is very good at.
Yeah.
And so I think that's another key to tonight's game is going to be the turnover margin.
Yeah. And perimeter defense. Yeah. That's going to be paramount in this game. All right, so keys to the game for me, just reiterating, battle of the arc. Whoever is going to win that, I think for Furman to win, they're going to have to shoot over 38% in this game. They're going to have to. They're going to have to get hot. Can Wofford limit them? And Wofford's going to have. They don't have to shoot a 40% clip, but they're going to have to shoot around 35%. They don't have to have the same type of volume as Furman, but they need to be able to get to the free throw line. They need Kamari Holmes to be able to get downhill. And can they get some of the bigs in foul trouble? You know, can you get Cooper Bowser? Can you pull him out? Brian Sumter, I think, is going to have a big game. You know, he didn't play in that game against VMI, so is he going to be, you know, fully healthy after the illness? So that's going to be a big factor right there. So I think that interior presence is going to be something that Wofford's going to have to try to figure out if they can.
Absolutely. I think I completely agree with everything you said. I mean, I look at kind of 4 key matchups for each team tonight. For Furman, to your point, they have to shoot it better from 3. Yeah. They were 28% from 3 in their first meeting. 3 of 15, I think, in the second half. Yeah, 3 of 15 in the second half. They're going to have to limit their turnovers. That's been an issue all year, but they're going to have to limit that tonight. And like I mentioned earlier, I think they are going to need to score some points off turnovers. They're going to need to limit Wofford's backcourt. We already mentioned it. 55 of their 74 came from Wofford's backcourt in the last matchup. Not that Wofford can't score in the interior, but they're at their best when that perimeter
no doubt.
Group is really going.
I think they're much more of a perimeter team.
They certainly are.
And I didn't even mention Niels Mahosky. I mean, just in terms of, yes, we know he can score, we know he can shoot from beyond the arc, but I think he's more physical than people realize. He's a really good rebounder that's very subtle. There's times, I mean, he's flirting with 9, 10 rebounds and you don't even know it.
He had 9 in the first matchup. I didn't know. I went back and looked at the box score today and I was like, it's almost like circling that one.
It's almost like you're surprised when you see 9 rebounds. But it's consistent, and so I keep questioning myself. Why am I surprised now? we're at the point of the season where I've seen enough data. I understand what he's capable of doing, but it still does surprise me each time.
Absolutely. And as part of that, I think you got to limit Kamari Holmes' paint touches. And limit him getting to the foul line. The paint touches and the foul line go hand in hand. But paint touches allow him to spray out as well, right? So when you get that defensive collapse, you can spray out to some shooters. And then the last thing I'd say with Furman, they have to play with joy. They've appeared maybe a little tight, maybe a little bit pressing over the last handful of games as they're trying to kind of figure themselves back out, getting fully healthy. Look, this is a good basketball team. I know I'm biased, but this is a good basketball team that has a lot of talent. They need to just take a deep breath and just go be themselves and go play and go have fun. And the rest is going to take care of itself.
Coach Giltner talked about he's having so much fun.
Right.
And you can see that on Wofford's bench also.
Absolutely.
Even in some of the losses, yes, it's so hard to go undefeated, and it's so hard to even just lose 2 games. I mean, you're going to have these losses.
Everybody gets into a rut.
That's right.
At the end of the day, look, we're playing ball. There's a lot going on in the world.
That's right.
We're playing ball, right?
Yes.
And so, switching over to Wofford, I think for them, they got to guard the 3-point line. You mentioned it. If they can contain the 3-point shooting from Furman, it's going to be really tough for Furman to win this game. And particularly, we talked about it before, hold Asa Thomas in check.
Yeah, that's right.
When he scores 15 or more, they're 7-0. Plain and simple. Make Alex Wilkins an inefficient scorer. We already talked about that. He's almost certainly going to get his.
Yeah, that's right.
How is he going to get it? Is it going to be really efficient, or can you make him take a lot of shots to get that? They got to get the backcourt going. We already mentioned the 4 guys in that backcourt. If that backcourt scores 55 points again, it's going to be really tough for Furman to win this game. Last piece I'd add is limit second chance opportunities for Furman, and conversely, can you get on the offensive glass and generate some extra possessions for your guys? Because you do shoot it well from the perimeter, and one of the easiest ways to get a good look, feet set 3, is off what you call
that's right.
A dagger, right?
A kick out.
A rebound and kick out.
That's right, yes. And Charles Johnson is a good offensive rebounder, so can he be that guy? All right, you can already start hearing the crowd getting even louder here as the Wofford Terriers getting ready to host the Furman Paladins in the 160th edition of this series. There's a lot of excitement, and when I look at the matchup, what we just talked about, I've got a feeling, I think Kamari Holmes is going to get those paint touches. I think Brian Sumter is going to be a little bit of an inside presence, and then Caden Vasco is going to be able to facilitate. And then watch out for Niels Mahovsky. I think he might have one of those big games from the perimeter. So I'm going to have to go with the Wofford Terriers here, only because I feel that Furman, to your point, they're pressing right now.
Yeah.
They seem to be in a situation where they're still just trying to, it's hard to describe, but they're not playing their best basketball just in terms of, are they over-analyzing things and not just going out there and being natural and just letting the game come to them and flow?
Look, and without getting down a rabbit hole, you and I have both been in that situation as players and coaches. That's tough.
Yes.
Because it just starts to really build on you. I know I'm biased. I think that this Wofford team is excellent. I really do. I just look at, they lost at home. They need to find a way to split against you. You want to find a way to split against your rival. They really need this game. Not that Wofford doesn't, but look, here's the reality. If Furman loses tonight, they're staring down a real legitimate concern of having to go to Western Carolina to avoid playing opening night in the Southern Conference. So I know that potentially can add some stress and pressure, and we're talking about trying to have them play with more joy. But I think there's going to be a sense of urgency in that locker room that they know they have to win this game. And then the last reason I think I picked them, I think they're going to get this thing going. They're going to get it popping. They're going to cut. They're going to get some easy points. They're going to get playing with a little bit of joy, and I think then that stress is going to come off, and they're going to find a way to come out here and get a much-needed win tonight so that they can hopefully build momentum moving forward into Asheville. But this is a really good Wofford team. That if they're going to win, they are going to have to play well.
Either team can win this game.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a coin flip, basically, is what it's going to come down to, and who can make some of those plays right down the stretch, because I do think this is going to be a very competitive game.
I do. I think this sucker, I'll say this, I think this sucker is going to come down to the final minutes of this game.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah, no question about it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. The Wofford Terriers taking on the Furman Paladins. Tip-off just a little after 7 p.m. And we are excited that we've been able to bring you our own version of Game Day, SoCon Fast Break, right here on YouTube. So big thanks to Brent Williamson, Sam Steele, Byron Rudker, and all of the individuals here at Wofford for allowing us to broadcast here. And of course, head coach Kevin Gildner, who joined us earlier, that he was able to join the show. We greatly appreciate it. And our good friends at Ingles Markets for all that they do for the Southern Conference. And Mr. Brian Fannin, producer and director extraordinaire, George Wise on the sound, and of course, all of you out there, the investors, investing your time to watch. We do appreciate it. And you can hit that subscribe button or follow right there on YouTube, so you can continue to get all of the Southern Conference hoops action and comments, commentary, whatever it is, because we want you to join the show and be part of the conversation. We wanted to hear your thoughts as well. Enjoy the game, and until next time, may all your jumpers hit nothing but the bottom of the net.